It is now Sunday, April 12th, 2026. I have been attempting to record this review of the Tokyo DTI 2026/Spring 2026 update for the past week. I have at this point probably over 3 hours worth of footage of me attempting to review and go through this entire update. But the problem is I want to be as thorough as I can and make it extremely clear that the things that I am reviewing, the things that I'm criticizing are strictly game related. It is no reflection of my opinions or thoughts of the individuals themselves who have created or worked on this update. So let me put that disclaimer out now. I think everyone does beautiful work. However, I do still believe in one's right to voice their opinions about the products they are consuming, because DTI is a product. It is something that entails payment. It is a product, as is any other video game. So it is, fully within the rights to be criticized, the same as any other video game. And I have been a gamer for over a decade now. I've played a wide variety of games: Call of Duty, Sims, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, like any kind of game that you can think of. GTA 5, I was about to say 6, but we don't have that yet. Rockstar, where are you? I've played pretty much every game genre that you can think of. I know my games. I studied game design in college. I know my games. Like, I'm not criticizing or saying anything from like the point of view of someone who's like so out of touch to this extreme level. Like, I know that there are definitely things that are not necessarily within the bounds of the developers to fix immediately. There are things that do take time, and I fully acknowledge and understand that. However, we are going to just go ahead and get into my raw thoughts and emotions and feelings about the update. That was my little disclaimer. If you've never been here before, which you probably have, this is my first like actual big YouTube video. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna start trying to post videos more often on YouTube, just because I love YouTube, so why not? And we're gonna get into it. I broke this review into like 5 categories. So the first category is aesthetics, like anything, and if you see me looking down, I wrote notes. Aesthetics, like visuals, audios, like the general appeal of the update. So this is gonna be something that's like that's a more superficial category. It doesn't take a whole bunch to score high there. The second category is new additions. So that's going to be things like the clothes, the hair, the makeup, like any new asset that we were given during the update that is not map related. Category 3 is going to be ease of accessibility. I also had to take a course on UI accessibility and friendliness. I had to take a programming course that basically taught the do's and don'ts of how to make an application user-friendly for all users, including those persons with disabilities, such as being colorblind, such as being visually impaired, etc., etc. Which I don't think is something that very many developers take into consideration when they are crafting updates for their games, especially for Roblox games. They don't take that into consideration because I feel a lot of developers think that there is a lot less risk to need to be politically correct in that category when it comes to their Roblox games, as opposed to like games that are published by actual like gaming studios. So we will get into that. I have quite a few notes on that. I'm not even going to lie. The cons section is way longer than the pros. In fact, I don't think I have anything in the pros right now, but that could change by the time that this video is over. Category 4 is going to be the average player's experience. So I'm going to try to look at this from the perspective of the average player, which DTI's main chunk of their fan base are players from the age of, I'd say, about 13 to maybe 20. That's like their core demographic. Obviously, I'm 26, so there are players that fall outside of that range, but I think that's their main core demographic there. So I'm going to be trying to look at this update from the perspective of a 16-year-old girl playing DTI. What would that look like for me? I'm not going to look at it from the perspective of an adult who has adult money and can do whatever I want. So, and the last category is going to be quality of life changes. So that is going to be new or different gameplay mechanics they've added, things that they've changed or tweaked to make the player experience better, long-term add-ons, like any kind of function to that degree. I've already recorded quite a bit of gameplay footage and review footage. So if you see me, again, I've recorded a lot this whole week, on and off. So if you see my look changing throughout the video, it's because I've been recording this for a long time. Okay, so just want to get that started. The video is going to be broken up into chapters. So if you would like to just go ahead and skip to a specific chapter and see what my opinion is there, you're more than welcome to do that. This is going to be a long review. This is going to be a long video because I want to be in depth about it. I gave the update a week to come out because I do understand that sometimes there are unavoidable bugs. There are things that need to be fixed or tweaked, like maybe 1 or 2 days into the update. So I gave enough time to allow for anything major that needed to be fixed. It's been a week. We're gonna go ahead and get into the update. I hope you enjoyed the review. Make sure to go ahead and like, subscribe, and leave me a comment and let me know what you thought of the Tokyo update. Let's get into it. Stay messy. Okay, this is editing Messy just popping in. It is now like 1 a.m. to tell you that Chapter 0 is going to be launched. Chapter 0 is basically a recap of my first impressions from launch day when the update first came out. So it's going to be rather long. If you want to just skip ahead to what my ratings are for each individual category, if you want to just know what grade I'm giving the update, the chapters will be along the bottom of the video. You can kind of skip around, but again, Chapter 0 is just my first impressions from launch day. So it's going to be a little long because I don't know how to not yap. So thanks, bye. Okay, let's go ahead and go through everything in the Tokyo update together, and I'll show you what I think, what I like, what I don't like, hits, misses, blah, blah, blah. I've already kind of started playing around with it a little bit. I was on live earlier today, like maybe an hour after the update came out, but I had a family emergency and I had to step away. So I didn't get to look at everything all the way. I got to look at most of like the free play stuff, but I didn't really get a chance to look at all the makeup or the hair stuff that in depth. I haven't even played a regular round yet. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it, but we're gonna start, I wanna start first with the makeup. I was playing around a little bit with the makeups. Let me put on a lighter skin tone. I think, and this is no glaze. It's no glaze, and you'll know it's no glaze because I do have different opinions about individual assets. But as for like the preset faces as a whole, I don't think any of these are like misses. I don't think any of these are, you know, I don't think any of them took the L. Let's go through them one by one, and I'll tell you which artist made which face from what I know. First face, this is the face that was on the idol from the trailer. Loon made this face. Second face, this is Dory, very cute. Third face, this was a combined effort. This is both Dory and Loon worked on this face here. This face, I believe this is Loon. Loon made this face too. And this music note face. And this music note face, which I can't say too much on, but hopefully we get some more from her soon. This one is Dory. This one is Dory. This one is Dory. And I think that's the last face from the update. I know that a lot of people were really excited about this face in particular because it's going to be able to give people a dupe for the Gyaru DLC, which if you don't know what that is, this is the Bubblegum Gal Season 2 Mystery Doll DLC that everybody and their moms is fucking obsessed with, and they want it because they want this Gyaru makeup. I will say the difference though is that on this DLC, this here is like, that's a makeup. Hold on. Like, look, it's an individual makeup. You can put it on any face. However, with this face from the update, that is not the case. Like the eye makeup itself is not an individual asset. Like you have to equip these eyes to use that. So that might suck for some people. Maybe they were expecting that to be like an individual asset, kind of how the DLC was. But nonetheless, I mean, it is the free alternative. And we're gonna get into what I think of like the individual assets. I'm gonna put on a pre-made face that I have already. That way I can kind of change the assets and you can see what they look like with already a pre-built face. We're just gonna go through all the eyes. These ones are really cute. These ones are cute too. You can change the shading. You can change the color of the lower lashes and the color of the upper lashes individually, which is cool. We don't have any eyes like that in the game yet. We do have some eyes where you can change either side, like the deluxe Stardust Softie. You can change either side of her eyes, but nothing like this with like top and bottom so far. Cute. If I'm not saying anything that's not like a negative thing, it's fine. Like I don't have anything to say about it. Like it's fine. These are the Gyaru eyes. They are cute eyes. They are cute. I just know that maybe some people are gonna be a little upset that that's not an individual asset. Adorable. And I think these are the last ones. These are the last ones from this update. So I think all of the eyes are nice. These ones are definitely the widest eyes, which I don't personally use a lot of wide set eyes, but that's because I mainly make either Black American faces, like I make women black faces, or I've actually been making a little bit more Asian inspired like makeup looks lately. I personally don't make a lot of things outside of what I can see myself in. It's just easier for me to play like that. I play with models that emulate myself, so that's easier for me. But I will say, actually we'll wait till we get to the lips for that. Okay, so we'll put these eyes on and let's go through the eyebrows. Boom, 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 boom. Now these are definitely, it's been a minute since we got some real thin ass eyebrows. So there you go. For the ladies who like the thin eyebrow look, boom. These ones are a little bit downturned though. And these ones are definitely some of the most aggressive arches we've had in a while. Like, okay. Boom. And that's all the ones from, I do like these eyebrows. I like how flat they are. These are all the eyebrows from here. And let's go to lips. And I do have some criticisms on the individual lip assets. And keep in mind, this is not to do necessarily with either or any artist that made the lips, but rather how they function in the game. It's not about how they look. I think they all look good. I'm gonna go through all the lips. Boom, 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 boom. Now this one has piercings, so you have to kind of like color those individually. I don't have no piercings like that. I don't know. That shit is a little freaky to me, so I'm not gonna be using them. That don't mean it's not nice for whoever does, but I make like almost exclusively realistic or like human baddie faces. Like that's it. So my range is not, you know, like, and you see how all of these on this specific skin tone that I have on right now, all of these look nice. All of these look nice. Oh, that's not from this update. All of these look nice. But the skin tone that I have on, this nice pretty pink hue. However, if I am to put on a darker skin tone, I was just experimenting with this before I started recording. So a lot of the lips, when I put them in brown tones or shades, like they become not the best when it comes to the way that they are colored. I find that these lips that have this kind of like gradient shading towards the ridges tend to not work the best on darker skin tones. Like a lot of the lips, and I'm putting it in a dark brown because I mean you certainly can, but most Black people are not walking around with like, maybe this is giving Gyaru. Like when I make the lips pink, this is definitely giving Gyaru, but that's not the average everyday experience for Black makeup, you know? So brown is something we would more naturally wear, but like a lot of the lips don't look as nice in a more dark tone. Now, if I were to set the lips like in any of these funky colors, they look a lot more solid and usable. They look a lot more solid and usable. But see, even here, when I get into the darker reds, the way that these lips color remind me a lot of older lips. But like, you know, these ones are cute because these ones, like, they're solidly colored like that, like at the ridges. So it makes it easier to work on darker faces and darker skin tones. I just can't see a lot of these lips. And again, this is an update that is centered more towards Asian features, and so that's perfectly fine. You know, not every update is gonna cater to you. I don't know if we got any new shadings. Did we? Let me look at my files really quick. Hold on. Oh, boom. I think we got one new contour. Okay, it's the 62 one here. So it's this. It looks like this. It's just very pinky, very blushy. And then we have the individual details. Okay. I'm like, whoa, why is that so bright? But you can turn the opacity down, actually. It looks better. Wings, boom. Again, I make very realistic, no nonsense faces. So a lot of these like details I am probably never gonna use. I think the makeup is very, very gorgeous. Again, I do think it works way better on a fair skin tone. Let's get into the hairs. We got a little Betty Boop at a little bit. You know what though? And I had a quick glance over the hairs before I had to leave earlier. Is it just me or like a lot of them have very chunky highlight, like very chunky highlights, like not the typical highlighting that we've been used to the last couple updates. These ones have very chunky highlighting, but maybe again that's just the style, the way that it lost all texture when I put it in black. Okay, like it lost all shine when I put it in black. This hair is really cute. Okay, boom. Please raise this bowl. DTI, raise this damn hair bowl. It'd be all up in the way you can't even see the combo you're putting on. This one's only one color, but it does have toggles. Only buns, only bangs. These are cute bangs. These are cute bangs. Now this one, this bitch forehead bigger than Rihanna's. Like, fuck. Like, that's not even a 4 digit. Like, you gotta put 2 whole hands stacked together. Why is her dome so big? Like, oh my God. And it's see-through. Oh, somebody get her a new wig. Somebody get her a new wig. And it has toggles, only bangs. Who did that? Why is this shit so big? Scale it down. Look, see, boom. Wait, it actually looks T when you scale it down. Not normal. Not normally. Okay, boom. Like, a lot of it has very, very chunky highlights. Okay, let's see what the toggles are. No bangs. Oh my God. Oh, mama, the forehead. We gonna put the bangs back. We gonna put the bangs back, actually. Why is everybody forehead big as fuck in this update? Oh my God. Okay, only bangs. Cool, cool, cool. Pigtails, like everybody forehead is big as fuck in this update, bro. Front, yeah, I think it looks better in the front. Can we lower it a little? Like, it looks better. It looks better when you lower it. Not her fucking scalp peeking through. I can't. It looks better when you lower it and move it forward a little bit. But why are all these hairs so humongous? And I haven't even got to the biggest ones yet. No bangs. So see, her forehead's not as big. Only bangs. These are cute bangs. These are cute bangs. Boom. This is a cute hairstyle. No bangs. Only bangs. These are cute bangs. And now we getting into the real, I don't know what's going on here, sector of it. Look at this big ass hair. Like, first we got the big forehead. Now the top of the dome super big. Like, oh my God. Okay, it looks a little bit more T when I shrink it down a little bit, even though her head's poking out a little bit on the side, but it's okay. Oh, it has toggles. Okay, only bang. The bangs are fire. Bangs, less strands. Okay, the bangs are fire. The bangs are fire. I probably will never use that hair, but the bangs are T. Now we have this monstrosity. What the actual ever loving fuck is this? The only time I've ever seen a hairstyle like this is like on Trixie Mattel. Trixie, are you playing DTI Trixie? They put this in here for you. Let me make it blonde just for her. Like, oh my God, and there's so many layers. Oh wow, this one has no toggles. You're just supposed to use this monstrosity just like this. Girl, get it off. Get off my head. Get off my head. So we're gonna talk about the clothes. I actually haven't tried on a lot of the clothes yet. I know that this is old. This is old news. So is these, or these. So is this top. This is all old news. I want them to stop putting old shit on the podiums over here. Now, I am happy my chunky sneakers are back. Although they do look fucking chopped. They chopped and screwed the fuck out of my chunky sneakers. Please, justice for my. Wait, no, I'm sorry, I don't like that. I'm sorry, I don't like that. I don't. I'm not even gonna cap like I do. I hate everything about this. Okay, schoolgirl outfit that a lot of people were really pissed off about. They said they didn't like the length of the skirt. So she might need to put something on under there. Just a suggestion. We're gonna move on. You can change the length of the skirt, I heard. Yeah. Oh, wow. So that's unnecessary as hell. So we're too short and then we're way too long. From what I've learned, this school outfit is traditionally knee length. When it said long, I was expecting it to be to the knee, not to her fucking ankles. Okay. Again, fix the skirt. Fix that underskirt. Fix that underskirt. Only bow, only shirt, long sleeves. Okay. Not my style, but this is a cute little outfit. Wait, maybe I should put some hair on, actually. I'm sitting here bald. Let me wear one of the new hairs. We'll do this one, but we need to make her small again so that she's doesn't have this humongous fucking forehead. My elbow clipping through. This is actually a really cute set. It's very cute. I do like these boots. I like this little dress. Let me see what the toggles are. The hat's just the hat. Shoes don't have any toggles. You can pattern them though. You can pattern them. The dress has toggles. No vest, only vest. No vest pattern. You can pattern it on or off. Let's put on this little set. I'm gonna, again, and I've said this a couple times, a lot of this is not my personal style. So if you like some of these things and I don't like them, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I can't see myself ever wearing a lot of this. This sash, I don't know what the sash is for. The top is cute though. I do like the top. I like the styling of the top. It's very cute. But none of these have toggles. And then this is for men. But I suppose I can wear it too. Cool. Let me go get my gold dollar for y'all yell at me. I'm not even gonna lie though. Like, it's giving... it's definitely easy to tell they spent a lot more time on that free play map than they did in here, and it shows. given the fact that we are basically just playing in the Valentine's map. This is basically just Valentine's update part 2, except they put a Tokyo podium in both sections and called it a day. Like, nothing really about it has changed. I mean, fuck, Lana's apartment's still in Paris. You enter her apartment in Tokyo and you look out the window and see the Eiffel Tower. It makes no sense, but we're gonna get there, trust. Go in here. And this is an entirely old set, so I'm not even gonna put that on. This does look like they reworked it a little though. So they did give it some new toggles and rework that, so that's cute. Wait, what is this? Is this not one of the sets from Valentine's? Okay, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Seriously. Like, be fucking for real. I know that a lot of the new stuff is probably in the Baddie Pass or gonna be in the weekly boutiques, but why the fuck do we have a Valentine's set? Like, that's the weird. Now, it's one thing to put items from old updates of the same nature. Like, if this is supposed to be the pedal update, put old pedal items. But girl, you got a Valentine's set up here for the spring update. Like, we must get it together. All right, this is cute. This is definitely tea. Definitely tea. Only tail. Period. Yeah, this is definitely tea. I like it. Wish there was an option to put the hood down, but it's not the biggest deal. They've got a lot of little makeup accessories here. Oh, this purse is cute. That's a cute purse. Why do you hold it like that though? Why can I not just hold it like she's holding it here? Oh my god. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. These shoes are super duper cute. And so is this skirt. None of it has toggles though. That kind of sucks. Wait, what is that part? That's not on here. Wait, I cannot stand when they put shit on the mannequin that you can't actually put on. Like the Valentine's robe, how it had that little bralette underneath it, but it wasn't actually there. Cause girl, I want that. I want that mesh top underneath there. Give me that top. And there's not even toggle to turn it on. Like, girl, fuck. Come on. Oh, okay. They gave it toggles. I'm like, what's going on? Right. So I'm not gonna lie. The inside of the map is very disappointing, in my opinion. It's underwhelming, rather. Cause it's like they really didn't do anything except for just like change out the podium. Like the inside of the map is giving mini update, if that makes sense. Like I feel like honestly they changed the inside of the map more for the freaking Lunar New Year's mini update than they did for this, which is crazy. And oh yeah, here's the new Robux set for anybody who wants to see it. Not even, whoa, okay. I'm not even gonna cap to you. I did buy it because I'm a completionist. I'm probably never gonna wear them. Not like the bulk of the outfit itself though. Like this part's cute. This part's cute. Take off the bow. Like this part definitely has potential. But I don't know, like that is such a weird silhouette to me. That is such a strange polka dots on the inside. I don't know, like that, I don't know, it's weird to me. But can I take these strawberries off, please? The heels are tea though. Heels are absolutely tea. So you can toggle the bows, but then it don't take the damn bow off the big front part. Come on. Only socks. Let me see what it looks like when you... But the strawberries are still there though. Like, when you said it all white. The strawberries are still there though. These could be really cute socks if you could take the strawberries off. Ice cream prop. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't mind a little fun, whimsical item every now and then. So this is the default, and then you can get it like this. That's fine. But again, I don't know why we can't. Why can I not just hold it the way she's holding it in the freaking mannequin? I don't want to hold it like that. It's so in the way. Her open. That's cute. Very cute. Was it worth 349 Robux? I think it cost. I don't think so, in my opinion. It's still not the craziest priced one. That would be Queen of Hearts by far. But Haunting Beauty, you got all of this for only 259 Robux, man. Like, I'm sorry, nothing will ever beat that. Nothing will ever beat Haunting Beauty. And then let me just show you one more thing. Even though I just already talked about it. Actually, two more things. First of all, Cat Cafe is so cute. I don't know if everybody's seen the little kitties. I thought I was scared that this was gonna be a fucking game pass like it is in It Girl. You can pick up the kitty. Although I will say this happened earlier too. Every time I come in here, one of the cats is glitched in this specific spot, running repeatedly into the wall. Like they just run. Oh, they get glitched. They get glitched out and they just run into the furniture nonstop. Lana's apartment. Where's her apartment? Mind you, we really could use some directional signs on the floor because... Nope, this is the dressing room. Okay, is this her apartment? Mind you, we're in Tokyo, Japan. She's getting in the elevator right now. And somehow we have now teleported all the way to Paris. Hello, Eiffel Tower. And let's go show one more thing that's bothering me, and then we're gonna go. All right, and then I'll give my final recap. I don't even have the energy to play the rest of the update right now. I'm so tired. You know what is cool though? Like when you get on the train here, you can move around, and anybody else who also got at the train at the same time, you can see them. And this area is so beautiful. The cherry blossom area, so beautiful. My only gripe with this is, again, it feels like they spent so much time building these free play maps and not enough time making shit make sense, because every update so far we've had a new activity that can help us earn the seasonal currency. Halloween, it was apple bobbing. Winter, it was wrapping presents. Valentine's, it was flower bouquets. And for some reason, we still have flower bouquets. In fact, they've just picked up all the bouquets and plopped them right here. They make no sense. It makes no sense. Like, I don't know. At the very least, if they were gonna do that, they should have changed these flowers to actually correlate with flowers native to Japan, or that make sense for this season. Like, we could have did some type of activity with cherry blossoms. I don't know, go around and, you know, collect bundles of cherry blossoms off the ground and you can earn shit. Like, I don't know, but just a few things about the map specific portion of the update are giving, I don't want to say it's giving lazy, because it's not that. It's just like, I just wish that they had a bigger team, or that they would go and commit to the process of hiring a bigger team to help them with certain things, because it just sucks seeing so many different things get neglected because they don't have the bandwidth to focus on everything the way that they probably want to. They don't have the bandwidth to focus on making the map make sense, or having Style Showdown get something of an update considering it's still snowing in there. Like, they don't have enough bandwidth to do everything. I don't know. Long story short, I think that the makeup was definitely a success. The makeup and the hair, for the most part, were successes. Obviously, there was one or two oddballs, but like, those were successes by far. I think that this free play map is very beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's nice and bright. Like, they clearly put a lot of time into this. And again, isn't this bitch poor? How is she on billboards? Like, come on. Who is she? Mind you, another gripe I have, we didn't get a quest. Like, fuck, we haven't had a new quest since Halloween. Oh, I love quests. Like, I'm a quest girly. That shit's killing me, but I don't know. Let me open up the Baddie pass, see what's going on here. Unlock VIP for extra rewards. Okay, I already have that. Okay, the idol set's in here. See, I hate when they do this shit, and we told them during the Halloween Baddie pass, stop giving us runway effects, because nobody gives a fuck about that stuff. And it's just filler. It's filler, and you know it, and we know it. It's filler. Everybody knows it. Nobody cares about the runway effects. If people want runway effects, they buy them themselves, and they don't, because they don't care. Somebody told me, one of my people in my Discord, Lunar, told me she's already on level 19. Like, people are grinding the hell out of this Baddie pass already. Okay, looks like we have a new walk pad. Okay, I mean, it's really not a huge pass. It's not a very long pass at all, and it ends in 61 days. Holy fuck, we're gonna have to look at this for 2 months. I don't know, y'all. I'd be getting like sick of the updates like after a good month. And let's look at the weekly boutique, because I haven't yet. Cute. What is that? I'm gonna buy it. Not that I'm gonna use it, but this is cute. Okay. Oh wait, let me look at the shop clothing. And I already had everything from the pedal update last year, so I don't need any of this. Gyaruyo hat. What is that? The male version of Gyaru. Lita hat, gloves, boom, boom. Okay, yeah, all right. I have nothing more to say. I think that the makeup was definitely a success. I think that the map had the potential to be a full success, but obviously was lacking in some areas, such as the interior, the apartment, and the mini game. I have yet to play a regular round, so I'm not gonna comment on that. The hairs were mainly a success. There was 2 or 3 that were looking rather interesting. The clothing, it's okay. I think it's okay. I certainly don't think it's like the best clothing update we've ever gotten by far, but also I don't have every single piece of clothing yet, so maybe my opinion will change once I get the stuff from the Baddie pass. We'll see. I would give this overall a solid, just because it is getting to the point of frustration, of open frustration, to be, what, 6 months now without a quest? 6 months now without any actual significant major lore drop or activity. Yeah, I don't know. They put a cat cafe. Are you in there? Are you in the cat cafe? Tell them, hey, I'm in the cat cafe. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, and now we're gonna get into chapter 1, category 1, which is aesthetics. This is the visuals, the audios, the appeal overall. This is a category where I think Dress to Impress really does kind of break even, if not even shine, more than there are negatives in this category. The map overall is beautiful. The additions that they've made are beautiful. This little cat cafe is gorgeous. The subway station, all of these things are so beautiful, and they've clearly put so much detail into the map around us and everything that we are seeing. I'm so happy that we are back to a beautiful blue skyline. I was so sick of the foggy pink gray monstrosity that we had going on during Valentine's and even a little bit during winter. It's so nice to come outside in the free play area and see a nice big bright blue sky above me. However, there are areas like this where visually they are lacking or failing due to one of two reasons, either stagnation or the limitations. So this one is obviously stagnation. As I have made a habit of saying in all of my lives since this update dropped, there's a little too much Paris in my Tokyo. And you can definitely notice that here in the lobby, where I made this joke as well in my live. If you kind of hold up your hand and cover up the spot where the Robux set is, and then this little display here in the middle, it looks just like the Valentine's. You wouldn't even be able to tell the difference that it's not the Valentine's map. And that kind of is an issue. But regardless, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna run down my pros and cons list. Pro is that it's beautiful. It's very visually pleasing. It's bright. It's bold. The additions of new shaders with the photo feature, that was a great call. A lot of people have really loved that addition. The VIP lounge, now I didn't show it in these clips, but the VIP lounge downstairs got a complete makeover and it is gorgeous. I wish they would have carried that aesthetic, that style, all throughout the entirety of the regular lobby, the interior lobby, because that down there is absolutely gorgeous, but only a certain percentage of the player base has VIP and will be able to actually see that lobby downstairs. So it's beautiful, but in a way it's almost wasted because it has really no purpose outside of just being there and looking cute. There's no real reason for a player to go and spend time down there. Not to mention, even though it is gorgeous, I love the makeover it's gotten since Valentine's Day, the lighting is always bad down there, and it's really hard to take pictures and to stage and to kind of use that space and take advantage of the beauty that's down there. As for the cons, I will say that this map is overly large. It's overly large, and there are upwards of 6 different transition scenes within the free play section alone. The lobby, the cafe, the apartment, the studio, the subway station, the train, and apparently there's a 7th one coming soon. I don't know. There's a door right outside of the exit to free play that says it's coming soon, so I don't know. And it's this, because of the size of this map, this visually is going to be extremely graphically challenging and demanding on any player that's not playing on a PC, and even maybe some PC players are going to find this update to be really challenging to load up. It's going to require a lot of processing, a lot of thinking from whatever system you're attempting to play on, and I can already see that this might be really difficult for mobile users especially to kind of get used to. And although I did say that the addition of different shaders and the photo mode was a really good choice overall, it does have limitations because photo mode limits your playability and it has to kind of stay up and present and active at all times for the shaders to be utilized. It would be nice if you could kind of open up the photo, turn them on, and then close the photo and they would still stay, but currently you have to have the photo app, like the Dress to Impress little photo booth icon thing. You have to have that up and running at all times. And if you have that up, you can't interact with like anything else. So it's not really practical. It is cute for doing quick little photo shoots, but overall it's really not the most practical. And as you can see in some of the clips of the subway station, overall just the lighting is really weird in this update. They've made attempts throughout the week to kind of fix and rectify that, but overall the lighting is still very strange in a lot of places, especially the recording studio. And for some reason the lighting, like the actual, and I'm gonna get into this more in the bug section, but the actual ability to switch between low and high lighting was completely broken for the first couple days of the update, and even to this day as I'm recording this, it's still bugged, specifically in the recording studio section. Like it just completely bugs out and the lighting in there is so bad, which is an issue because it's the recording studio. That's where everybody wants to go to take their pictures. That's where I go to take my pictures. That's where I use my backdrops. Like that's an issue if visually you're failing in that category. But overall, I would say there's a lot of pros. There's some cons. There are some cons, but overall visually I do think that they did nail the update. It is graphically gorgeous, and that is undeniable. Overall, I would have to give this area, if I'm ranking on a scale of A to F, I would give this area a solid B+. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep this chapter short and sweet. I think for the most part, this is a pretty well-rounded chapter. Like as far as new additions, this means features, clothing, hair, etc. Like all of the new things that were implemented into the game outside of like visuals and graphics. So the pros are obviously that the makeup is very nice. In my opinion, the makeup carries this update. It really does, for me at least. The makeup is nice. Every single one of the preset faces is nice. They all look like they are super versatile and they can work with a myriad of different makeup styles and different play styles. They're all very nice. The hair is nice too. A couple of them are very niche or situational, and while it might not be my particular style, I can definitely see how other people would be able to utilize those. And in fact, I've already seen people utilizing them and it looks great. Like they're using those hairs and they're looking good. I think that the weekly boutiques are very nice. The first boutique we got with the Ginza set is gorgeous. The second boutique we got with the Easter set, although a lot of people were kind of upset about them releasing another repeat, I think that set is still gorgeous and I didn't have it before. I am disappointed that despite the fact they've had an entire fucking year to work on this, they have not somehow rigged the Easter bunny set to be, you know, compatible with the male rig. It confuses me on when they bring back old items, but they make no adjustments to them, such as making it now compatible with the male rig. I just feel like, why are we bringing it back then if it's not going to work with everyone and every playstyle? Anyways, even having said that, the set itself is nice. I think that the new custom color palettes, although you do have to pay for them after the first free one, I do think that that is a really nice addition that is going to add a lot to gameplay. It's going to add a lot to the play styles, to playability. It's going to give a lot of people a lot of diversity in how they're able to really create and customize their outfit. I do think that the Cat Cafe is such a cute little, you know, nonsense addition that I just love. Like, it doesn't really necessarily add anything to the gameplay, but it does add to just like the overall experience of free play. Like, it does make free play nicer, and I enjoy it. It's a fun little, you know, not every addition has to be this like groundbreaking thing, and I think that that's one of those things that are just like, it's a nice little add-on. It's fun. Cons, I will say that the Baddie Pass clothes are cute, but they feel lacking. Like the Baddie Pass as a whole. So the Baddie Pass itself is a new addition, and I feel like this spring Baddie Pass definitely is lacking. I started playing during the pedal slash spring culture era, that era. So like I was around for this first Baddie Pass, but I didn't really play during, like I wasn't really locked in. I didn't lock in until like Halloween. So the first Baddie Pass that I really experienced was the Halloween Baddie Pass, and I much prefer that the way that one was laid out. Now I know a lot of people don't like the Diamond Pass. I'm not advocating that we need to bring that back, but I do like the way that Baddie Pass was laid out a lot more because it gave you a lot more to strive for. We had 2 rows of 30, so 60 items total that you could unlock. The top row was all free and the bottom row was Diamond Pass, which you had to pay to unlock. Now I would prefer if they bring back this setup, but they make that bottom row VIP. I think that would be a good compromise because the way that we have it now, just 30 items there, like a good decent bit of it is filler, runway effects that nobody, not a single person, nobody asks for, mind you. Nobody likes runway effects, and I guarantee you nobody wants that in their Baddie Pass. It's literally filler. They know it, we know it, you know what I'm saying. So like I think that the Baddie Pass as a whole is definitely lacking. I do think that the clothes as a whole that were given to us in this update, so this is not including Weekly Boutique, this is not including any new other clothes that are coming or from the Cat's Eye collab, because yeah, this has taken me so many days to record that now the Cat's Eye collab has been announced. So this is not including any of those clothes. This is strictly the clothes that were released on launch day. In my opinion, a lot of them are very niche, they're very situational, and I don't necessarily like the look of a lot of them. Like, they're okay. I think that the items that were in VIP are definitely better than the items that were in the free section, unfortunately, but like as a whole, I feel like the clothes were definitely lacking. So all in all, I would say that this chapter, this section of new additions, I would give it a solid B. There were some really great things here, and there was obviously some areas where they were lacking, but as a whole, I do think that they did put their best foot forward for the most part. I think that the clothes that was definitely their biggest area that they were lacking in, but other than that, I really do feel like the vast majority of the new additions that we got were worthwhile. They clearly had a lot of energy and effort put into them, which is not to say the clothes did not, but I think that those areas such as hair and makeup, that hit a lot more for the general audience, a lot more than the clothes did. So yeah, all in all, I would give this section a B. This is going to be a rough chapter for DTI for this update. I'm not even going to lie. My cons list way far outweighs my pros list. In fact, I have like 0 things in my pros list right now. That can change as I speak and as I go over different things later. Anyways, this category is about the ease of accessibility. It's about the controls, how the UI works, how many bugs were in the update at launch, the practicality of everything, and overall how disabilities friendly this update was. Because a lot of creators, like, they just look at ooh, everything's fancy, it's colorful, there's nice clothes, there's pretty makeup, but like, how friendly is this to the general audience? How easy is it for this audience as a whole to really grasp and play this? Like, does everybody have a fair chance at enjoying this update? And unfortunately, in some categories, the answer is hell no, like a resounding no. We're gonna start off first with the one thing it's like undeniable. First thing you notice is how big this map is. This map is humongous. It's overly large. Now, as of recording this, they have implemented a few changes, such as the teleportation system, which is nice, and that means that they are listening to their community. But when this update first came out, it was taking upwards of like 1 minute to walk all the way to the flower station. While that might not seem like a lot of time, that is a lot of fucking time to be spending walking around the map and essentially doing nothing so that you can get to another location so you can do a mini game that's rinsed and repeated from another update to get currency for this update. And to walk from the start around the entirety of the map all together, I think I timed it, and it took maybe 4 and 5 minutes just to make like a full circle, full lap around the map as a whole. Now, again, with the teleportation system in place, that has been essentially nixed. You can just instantly teleport wherever you need to go, which is great. That's lovely. I do wish that was in the game from the start, but it is good that that was added after the fact. That means that they were listening in that specific regard. Another thing that has continued to come up is the issue of bugs with lighting, especially now that they've added this camera feature where you can kind of customize the lighting as you want to and like do all these custom features. For some reason, that has seemed to really, really bug out the previous low and high lighting features. So for probably about the first solid week, like the first couple days, and it's, if you ask me, still broken to this day as of recording this on the 15th. The low and the high lighting were completely bugged. You could not switch between them. You were forced into high lighting, which I hate because I am a low lighting advocate. I always play with low lighting. Like, the high lighting is just too much shine everywhere, and it's almost blinding, especially with these newer maps that they've made in the last couple months where they all tend to be lighter and brighter and whiter everywhere. So it just makes everything super shiny unnecessarily. The lighting was bugged. You could not switch between low and high lighting. They fixed it a little bit, but there are still some areas in the map where it's broken, such as the recording studio, which is an issue because that's one of the main places that I need to go to take pictures with the low lighting. But like, you switch between high and low lighting and then it kind of does nothing. You have to like walk around the recording studio to get it to kind of like snap into place. I don't know. It's just like, it's just still bugged to this day. It's still bugged to this day, which is an issue because if you're going to add all these like fun, funky, like lighting effects, I think we need to be making sure that like the previous stuff that we already have in place is not breaking as a result of it. Now, I'm not calling anybody. I'm not saying that they're not doing their job. What I am saying is whoever's in charge of the QA team, the quality assurance team, you need to hit my line like now, because the last couple updates, there have been like several bugs or things that come out, and I will be playing on live, like on live stream, playing the game in real time as it's coming out and discovering bugs. And in my opinion, if you have an entire team of like quality assurance testers who are like playing this update before it launches, doing all this other stuff, I'm just confused as to why so much of this stuff is going uncaught, especially a lot of the stuff that is like a lot more obvious to the naked eye, like, you know what I mean? Especially things when it comes to like the way that hair clips or the way that like things that are utilized in the making of everyday outfits just don't work properly. Now, the lighting thing, maybe everybody doesn't play with low lighting or high lighting, so it's just not something they thought to check. I don't know why. I would still check it, but like maybe that's just not their first thought. However, something like hair, I think we should be knowing that all of the hair in this update is giving everybody massive forehead syndrome and is a little bit difficult to like resize and reshape. And some of the hairs, such as the one that has like the micro bangs with the 2 little pigtails on the side, is super cute. But the way that it's modeled with this like skin scalp dome attached to it makes it so that whenever you're using this hair, especially on a femme rig, and you resize it in any way, you have this disgusting and ugly like piece of like discolored scalp skin that's sticking out from your forehead where your bangs are. Like, it's just like little stuff like that I feel like it really should be like, that should be something that your team is like catching during the quality assurance test runs. Like, that should be something that people are catching. ahead of time, and maybe then we can be like, oh, this is a big deal, we want to change this, or it's not that big deal, we'll kind of let them simmer with it. Now, if this is like one of those things where you guys were just like, we're gonna let them simmer with it because it's not that big of a deal, I would beg to differ. I would really beg to differ, but I digress. Another thing that I noticed that they first, and here's the thing, it's like DTI is so great at giving you a good feature and introducing something and then taking it away. So with the Valentine's update, they completely reworked and remodeled the entire UI system. So that UI, that's all the buttons, that's the layout, that's the interface of the game. So all the VIPs and the game passes and what have you, all of those got like new labels, new icons, beautiful, great. They changed the way that the settings button features and works. Instead of being like hidden in the bottom left command where you have to open a bunch of panels to get to the settings, it was just a button that was on your screen. For some reason, even though that was very helpful and useful, they have decided to renege on that, and now the settings button has been pushed back into the depths of the bottom left buttons folder where you have to click a million things to get to the settings and then to open up the stuff that you want to open up. I'm not understanding why they introduce things like that where like it's helpful and then they kind of go back on it. Now I do understand that like where the settings button used to be, they put the Baddie pass there. However, I'm sure that we could have put the Baddie pass somewhere else or just had an additional button there. It wouldn't have killed anybody to have like one more button there in addition, instead of like replacing it with the Baddie pass. I don't agree with that, and it's just like an unnecessary minor inconvenience. Another thing that I noticed is in the Valentine's update, or it might have been winter actually, we got the complete overhaul. Like when we got the new hair system and all that other stuff, they changed how the color palette works. So in the hue bar, instead of it just being this black and white bar, it was the actual color of what you had selected, whatever hue you had selected, the bar was actually that color. So if I picked a green color, the bar would turn green. Like it was more intuitive, and for some reason in this update, they've kind of reverted back to just the plain black and white hue bar, which just feels like I don't understand why they introduce all of these new and cool things that make everything more accessible and then they take them away. I don't understand the reasoning behind that. It's almost like, why did you even give it to me in the first place? I don't understand it. I do not understand it. Another thing that they put in a couple of change notes that like, oh, we're working on this, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, it hasn't really noticeably changed to me. The Baddie pass as a whole, like when you open it up, a lot of the UI is cut off. Like the items, like the very tippy top of the items are like cut off in the system. Like when you're trying to scroll through them, and it's just like not very intuitive and it's kind of difficult. Now it's not the biggest thing, but it is just like a minor little bug or inconvenience that is notable enough to be in this section. So I wanted to talk about it. Also, the border for the Baddie pass, I don't know if that's a stylistic choice, but it just looks super pixelated and like out of focus, and I don't know. It just seems like not like very connected or tied into what the theme is supposed to be of the Tokyo, especially with the like, what is it? Fruitier, Aragido. I don't know how the fuck you say it. You know what I'm trying to say. The like 2000s style. You know what I'm saying? The Windows XP style that they've got for like the loading screen and like the entry and all that stuff. Like the Baddie pass doesn't visually match any of that. I don't know, but then as a whole, like even the clothes, like none of it, the UIs don't match each other. They're not really seamless. They don't really seem like they go together, which is something that I notice again because I do have a background in this sector, so like it's something that is going to stick out more to me. Another bug that I noticed is that like in the cat cafe, and again this is not the biggest deal, but in the cat cafe all the cats seem to bug out. They seem to bug out and they do this thing where they just walk repeatedly in one place, and the chairs like they get stuck in this little loop of eternal doom. And I don't know, it's just like it breaks the illusion a little bit of the cat cafe. Now I know that they're fake cats and it's just a virtual thing that's supposed to be a nice cute cozy little fun edition, but like when I walk in there and I see all these cats like just broken, like walking into surfaces, like it just really breaks the illusion. And I don't know, as a whole, like there are just like things like that just, I don't know. And also another thing with the map, I'm back on the map. We started with the map, we're gonna end with the map. There are way too many transition scenes. There are too many scenes. I feel like they spent way too much time on the external maps for the game for this update and not nearly enough time on what was like actually pertinent to the update, such as the clothes, such as the items, such as the interior of the like free play, like not free play, but the interior lobby. There we go. Where the like 99% of players spend most of their time. That's where your players are spending most of their time, and you didn't even do like a damn thing to it except for like remake the bottom VIP lounge that's like totally unusable for any real purpose. Like the lighting down there is so piss poor that it makes it like almost impossible to take photos down there or utilize the space in any kind of way, which sucks
sucks because it's beautiful, but that's like the only thing they added for some reason, which again, 99% of your players pretty much are spending their time in this lobby, and maybe 50% of people, I don't even know if the statistic's that big, have VIP, so then like even less people are actually seeing the one updated edition that you put in there. I don't know, like there's too much going on. There's too many scenes, and like it's giving Sims 4. It's giving DTI forgot that this is supposed to be a fashion game, and for some reason they are trying to make this like role play, free play simulator. I don't know why, because again, Roblox completely killed the chat and the role play features as a whole for this app. But like they want to be Sims 4 really bad, and it's showing. Like, why do we have a million cutscenes? Why do I have to hit a million black screens to go to like this location or the other? Like, it's just doing way too much. And I hope that they learn from this in the future and they do not ever make a map this big again, because it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary, and then it makes people resentful of the update because they spend all of their time navigating the map and not enough time actually playing the game. So as a whole, in this long ass chapter, I'm gonna have to, oh wait, actually, see, I almost forgot one of the most important things. And after I stop recording this right now, I am going to go get on the game on my alt account so that I can simulate this for you. This update is not colorblind friendly at all whatsoever. These images here, I'm gonna put them on the screen. This is what it looks like. This is what the lobby looks like if you're colorblind. So all these fun, fancy, bright colors that are thrown everywhere, all this nice, like it's cute, everything's great, blah, 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 hunky dory. This is what it looks like if you're colorblind. Not to mention, if you are colorblind and have the misfortune of playing during that horrendous, like terrible Easter update, trying to search for those goddamn eggs. I'm gonna put it on the screen. This is what it looks like to search for the eggs when you're colorblind. Can you spot the eggs? I'll wait. We'll do a Where's Waldo. Can you spot the eggs? Right. I don't know why they ever thought that would be a good idea, to hide eggs of the same color in items of the same color. And I know they were probably thinking, oh yeah, this is gonna be so hard and tricky, we'll get them. The vast majority of your players, you admittedly love to state that the vast majority of your players are kids. So why in the actual ever-loving fuck would you think that a Easter egg hunt to this caliber that is so hard that people are having to watch 2 and 3 tutorials to find all of the eggs, why would you ever think that this would be an acceptable mini game to put in the game that locks items behind them? I can't see any child completing this mini game in a reasonable amount of time. I can't see any colorblind person completing this update or this little Easter update in a reasonable amount of time. Me myself, I refused to watch tutorials because I wanted to get the real experience so that I could report it for you guys. And I am going to make an entire separate update on the Easter update, trust. But I'm putting this in here just because I want to talk about how colorblind unfriendly this update is. There is no way on earth that someone would be able to properly play and enjoy this update as a colorblind individual. And so for all of these compounded reasons in this long ass chapter, I am gonna have to give, for the ease of accessibility, getting a C-. And honestly, you're really lucky that you're getting that, because I really want to fail you. But the game is still playable. It's not giving Monsterverse where it's just like absolutely bugged out of existence to the point of unplayability. It's still playable, but if you happen to be anything other than like the quote unquote average human being, it's going to be difficult for you. And there are definitely bugs that make the game unenjoyable and that make playing the game a lot harder than it needs to be.
Okay, chapter 4, we're into the average player experience. I'm not even gonna waste my breath saying that I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, because if you made it this far, you know that clearly I yap too much. What I will say is I'm just gonna try to go straight off of like my pros and my cons list. But I'm gonna start first with the cons, just because that's going to be easier for me, and then we'll wrap it up pretty. So the cons are that I think a lot of the update, like things to do with the update, are just way too expensive. For the average person, like I went on my alt account, I don't have any game passes, no nothing. It was miserable. I was like, I'm gonna try to see if I can walk around and collect enough cash to unlock this week's weekly boutique. And I was over it after a minute. I was like, oh, never mind. I'm not doing this shit. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, this is miserable. I cannot imagine farming for cash in a regular free play lobby. This is like, from the average person who does not have a private server, it would be hell. Like, it would actually be hell. God forbid you don't have all the time in the world to do the Baddie pass, not to mention because they nerfed it, so you don't even get as much XP
XP as you were getting before, which that would have really, first of all, that would have been in the pro section. That would have been in the pro section, that the Baddie Pass is easy to transcend. That's a good thing for the average player. That is a good thing for the average player. But of course it has to go to the cons because they nerfed the fuck out of the Baddie Pass. So if you want to get through the Baddie, say you don't have time to do the entire Baddie Pass. If you want to buy the entire Baddie Pass, like just skip through it outright, it is going to cost you 4,990 Robux to skip all the way to the last tier of the Baddie Pass. If you want to check, mind you, for the average player, I think the items, the clothing items that were released in the free section are very lackluster. They're very lackluster in my opinion. They're not my favorite. I think the clothes that released in VIP are better, but if you want VIP, at the minimum, you're gonna have to spend another 299 Robux so that you can get in there and get them. If you want that new fancy sweet little berry set that's sitting up in that podium in the free section, that's gonna cost you another 349 Robux, which in my opinion, I think is a wax. I think the best example of a set that we had was the Halloween Haunting Beauty set. It was only, I think, 249 Robux and it came with like 6 different things, including a hair. That set is unbeatable. That should be the standard, but instead we got the strawberry set, which although it is cute, it has a very strange silhouette in the back and it comes with props that are really not, how do I say this? They're not very applicable for a wide variety of things. Like, okay, yeah, the little ice cream's cute. It has a toggle that makes it gigantic. Oh, okay. I mean, like it's a nice little gag item, but there's not really a lot that you can do with that. I mean, I'm sure there is, where there's a will, there's a way. There is a player who can find a way to make that work in any theme, I'm sure. But for the average person, that's just not going to be a thing. And although at the time of recording this, they have now input the teleportation system, they didn't have that for the first week. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in the 149 Robux run faster pass because God forbid you had that 50% walk speed trying to get around this humongous overly large map. Yeah, good luck, Charlie. We're gonna add that into the total. If you want to buy all of the items that are currently in the shop, like with the taiyaki, the seasonal currency, let's say for example, let's assume that you didn't play the pedal update last year, so you need to buy every single item there, the new and the old. That is going to run you 7,395 Tiaki, I think, the seasonal currency. So if that's converted to Robux, say you don't have the time to farm the seasonal currency, that is going to cost you 5,000 Robux to buy the seasonal currency when converted. So altogether, if you were to buy all of these different game passes, you were to max out the Baddie Pass, you bought all the taiyaki to buy the clothes in the shop. We're not even counting the weekly boutique. I don't even want to count it because that's more calculations. I can't even get into that. If you want to buy VIP, you want to buy the sweet berry set and you need to run faster because mind you, we're taking into account we're thinking about this pre-teleport. That is going to run you upwards of 11,000 Robux. I've got my calculations at 10,787 Robux for a normie to get through all of the things that there are to get through in this update. Now granted, you do have like 60 days to get through this update. Nobody's saying you have to do everything right now, but most people don't have the amount of time that maybe somebody like myself, a content creator, has, where it's literally a part of my day-to-day life to go and do these things. Everybody's not like that. Most people have school, most people have work. They don't have time for that. So for the average player, this is kind of an update that leaves a lot to be desired if you are not into spending money on games. And it may, I'm just saying your experience that you're getting, it may be a little so. I'm not saying you can't have a great time. I'm not saying that you can't have fun in the update. What I am saying is that it might cost you a pretty penny to do so. And while all of this is technically optional, a lot of it doesn't feel optional. So I'm gonna have to give the average player experience, I'm gonna give that a C+, and we'll leave it at that.
This is a post on Reddit from user Various Reaction 4750 who says, OMG, just give us interesting clothes. I don't want to play with vending machines or pet cats or lounges in a basement or even do role play. I get that some people do. That is great for them. They have been fed lately, and they have, but it feels like 99% of the devs' focus now is on anything but core gameplay. This one from Big Village 8592 says, expectations. These are cute. Expectations were too high, sadly. Now, I think that a lot of the hairs we got were cute.
Except for those last two. I don't know what the fuck those were. The bangs on the second to last one are great, but that big fat fucking bird's nest of a hair that we got in that very last slot, or I guess technically the first slot, depending on how you're looking at it. Girl, I'm not touching that shit with a 5-foot pole. I've seen a lot of people utilize it and make use of it. I will not be one of those people. I think that shit is butt ugly. I think that shit is butt ugly. Okay, this is the sneak peek for Easter that's coming out in like an hour and a half. Let's see what they're saying. Somebody says, it'd be great to see them add the pocket watch shown in the Easter set last year. DTI has this really bad habit of showing items in their trailers that they never put in the game. Mind you, we are still currently waiting on that long, gorgeous hair from the Valentine's trailer that was apparently supposed to be coming in the login rewards that have been going on for almost 50 days now with no reward, mind you. That would have been a good quality of life update. Too bad we didn't get that. Rebase it's cute. Easter's over though. That's why I was confused as well. Like when I saw we were getting a new update, my first thought was not Easter because Easter already happened, but tomorrow's the Orthodox one. Okay, that's fair. I'm so sick of these overly cutesy items. Don't get me wrong, the bag is pretty, but it's just not my cup of tea and I probably won't even have toggles. I think that's a valid take. I think all of this Japan update has been extremely cutesy or like lacy, florally, granny type shit. So I agree that it's really not been my style, but you know, everything I feel has its own kind of gimmicky purpose. But yeah, that's another thing. I'm gonna put that in quality of life. So you got a little bit of the community sentiment there. A couple things I just want to reiterate. I do think that it's a good thing that they added the teleportation system. I think that that is a really positive quality of life change. However, I do question why that was not a thing that was already like implemented into the game. Why did it take you creating a map that was so obnoxiously large that everyone complains about it for a week straight for you to then implement that? I feel like this is something that they would have had the capability to add into the game all along. Not to mention another thing that I kind of touched on in the bug section. It's a reversal of a quality of life update for the settings button to now be hidden once more down in the bottom left corner instead of just being easily available like it is here. I think that it is a mistake for them to discontinue the uniqueness of allowing the hue bar to be colored. While it's not like something that's like massively changing the gameplay as a whole, it is like one of those little tiny quality of life things that I just feel like was an unnecessary removal. And I did make an entirely separate video about this, but I do want to highlight a really positive change that I love in this update is that they finally listened to the advice of all of their players and they upped the makeup time limit to 3 minutes instead of 1 minute and 30 seconds. And that might not seem like a lot, but that is a big change. That's a big change. I mean, the makeup chair is the same amount of time as the hair chair. And also, I didn't know this when I recorded that initial video, like in the makeup chair, when it kicks you out of the chair, if you go back in the chair, it will pick up right where you left off. The makeup chair did not do that, and it would force you to scroll all the way back through all of the little details to get back where you were. It doesn't do that anymore. Now it does the same thing as the makeup chair, where it just leaves you right back where you left off when you hopped out of the chair, which is a great addition. That is like 10. I don't even, just 5 stars for that alone right there. So this is some new footage of me, but I really want to talk about the fact that it is becoming so hard to get cash in the modern age DTI. It's almost like they just made a decision after the Halloween update to get rid of all cash obbies, just not tell the community and just kind of hope that everybody forgets about it and just becomes quiet about it, because we haven't had a cash obby since the Halloween update. Not to mention we have less methods of actually getting pink cash and more things that we are now required to spend it on. Of course, that's what the community wanted. They said, please give us things to spend the pink cash on. However, nobody said to remove the fucking methods we had already of getting the cash. Bring the obbies back. We need the obbies back. Nobody said that they wanted those gone. They don't harm anyone. They require relatively low effort in general. Bring them back. Why would you remove the cash obbies? Okay, maybe I understood a little bit in the winter update because you wanted to make room for that nice pretty little ice skating area. Although in my opinion, you could have still threw some pink cash around that fuck ass ice rink in the intermission lobby. Same thing with Paris. You could have threw some pink cash on the intermission lobby there as well, and you chose not to. That was an active choice not to. Bring them back. There's no reason to get rid of them. I'm gonna spitfire a couple things. I don't like that they only partially bring back update items. If you're gonna bring back the stuff from the pedal update, bring it all back. Why would you bring back some of the things and not all of the things? People are really pissed off about them not bringing back the butterflies in particular. I think that the locker, the closet, the dressing room is starting to look so disorganized. There's just too much shit in there. You need to give the players an ability to, I don't know, categorize something, be able to put stuff in folders. I don't know. We need some kind of way to reorganize the dressing room because it is becoming way too cluttered. It's to the point now where when I play games, I don't even go pick up stuff off the floor. I just immediately go and spend all my 6 minutes in the dressing room closet. We need a way to reorganize it. There needs to be a way for players to auto save settings. This is kind of, I can see in the works of being fixed. They've been fixing things about this slowly. We need to be able to save our settings all the way. So we got it now so that the lighting saves and that I think the sounds save, but not everything in the settings save. Like, oh, for example, turning off your name tags, that doesn't save. If I turn my name tag off, I don't want to have to turn it off every single time I get in the game. Just leave it turned off. All of the settings should just auto save. I shouldn't have to go up in the settings and do anything else when I open up the map. I think that overall, it's not like they dropped the ball in this section, but I do think that it is still very clear that they are prioritizing things that maybe don't need to be prioritized, such as I'm still not over them releasing an entire fucking apartment for Lana in the Valentine's update, and the way that they were rolling it out made it seem like it was going to be this huge grand thing. Like, everybody was thinking we were going to finally get a quest, only for it to be a role play apartment with no actual real purpose in the game. So I don't know, it just feels like they're still prioritizing things that like don't add much to the actual game or to the experience of gameplay as a whole, instead of things that maybe will help the game. Style Showdown has been screaming for attention, and they keep uttering this like bullshit ass excuse of, well, there's just not that Style Showdown just doesn't have a good population of players for us to warrant focusing on that. Well, duh, maybe they would have a good population of people who played the game mode if you actually gave a shit about it and updated it. Nobody wants to play the game mode because it doesn't get updates, and then you don't want to update it because nobody plays. Do you see how that negative feedback loop just keeps feeding in on itself? Right. As a whole, I would give quality of life probably a B or a B minus. Again, I don't think that they're necessarily failing. I don't think they're dropping the ball, but I do think that they're still prioritizing things that do not matter to the average player, such as this big, I'm not going to get over this big, humongous, gigantic, overly large map. It was so unnecessary with 27 cutscenes in between. So unnecessary. It's gorgeous. It's unnecessary as well. Two things can be true at one time. Like, I don't know. We're going to digress. This was the last section, so I'm going to wrap this up, and the next section is going to be my overall final thoughts. Here we are again. Okay, you've made it to the end of this unnecessarily long video about the Tokyo update and everything I thought about it. I tried to be as in-depth as I could, obviously, despite the fact that I am clearly a yapper. I was not able to express or articulate every single thing that I feel about every single aspect of the update, but we went over what I felt were the primary features, the most important things, what have you. I hope that maybe you were able to learn something or take something from the video. Maybe I highlighted some things that you hadn't thought about, maybe some things that you were thinking about. I think that as a whole, and I'm recording this April 17th, the day before the Cat's Eye update comes out, because I know that once the Cat's Eye update comes out, a lot of things are going to be changing, and I just want to get this out and into the atmosphere while I still can. I think that as a whole, the Tokyo update is really beautiful. It's undeniable that the map is gorgeous. It's undeniable that the hair and the makeups are absolutely gorgeous, like to die for, besides those last two hairs, and I'm going to stand on that. But I just feel, once again, we were given an update that was aesthetically gorgeous on the outside. The shell was beautiful. However, the inside left a lot to be desired. Like quite literally the inside of the map left a lot to be desired. Like I mentioned previously in the video, you could quite literally just hold up both of your hands, cover up the new Berry Robux set, and cover up the little podium with the free items, and you're looking at the Valentine's update. Not much has changed at all. Like, they didn't really change much at all. I feel like the aesthetics they were going for don't really match each other at all. A lot of the clothes are really frilly and girly and cutesy and like, I don't know, like granny-ish. I don't know what the exact aesthetic is. However, the aesthetic of the UI, of the interfaces, of the loading screens, of the music is very Frutiger, Aereo. I still don't know how to pronounce that shit. I'm gonna be real. Y'all know what I mean. It's very 2000s. It's very Y2K, but the clothes, now the one fur stripe set in VIP does reflect this, but as a whole, the clothes that we got for this update don't really reflect the almost Y2K-ness that it feels like they were going for altogether. I don't know. The clothes, in my opinion, left a lot to be desired. I think that the weekly boutiques pretty much are always a hit, in my opinion, but the clothes that we were just outright given were not as much of a hit. I think that the Baddie Pass really kind of flopped. A lot of people, and you know what's funny? They've said before that the Baddie Pass is going to be something that they are going to keep. It's not going away. It's going to be something that they are going to continue to implement. And at the beginning of this update, they had an opportunity to have a Baddie Pass that the vast majority of people were going to be happy with, agree with, be on board with, and have no complaints about. And then they made the active conscious choice to nerf the XP gain on the Baddie Pass and make it harder to get through because they didn't like that people were getting through it so fast. And I understand that's a catch-22. Maybe they don't want people to get through it fast because they want people to have content to look forward to. However, in doing so, you just reinforced all of the negative stereotypes and opinions that your community had about the Baddie Pass. Instead of leaving leaving an opportunity for people to, for once, like one of the 3 so far Baddie passes that have come out, you completely shit all over that. And now you're back to square one and people hate the Baddie pass all over again. So I don't know. I just feel like there are a lot of things in this update that are counterintuitive and kind of work against them, each other. Like it just works against maybe the goal of what it is they're trying to do. Obviously, there's a lot of new cool updates and implementations and features. I love the new addition of the custom color palettes. I love the cute little cat cafe, even though, again, it is another relatively meaningless addition to the overall game as a whole. And I feel the same way about Lana's apartment. We're adding it genuinely, I said this before, it feels like they are trying to Sims 4ify Dress to Impress. Every time I get on this game, it's feeling more and more like Sims 4. There's so many cutscenes. There's so many little different random avenues to go do something, go travel to a different location that, you know, ultimately gives no reward. It just exists for the purpose of existing. I feel like we are straying a little bit from the plot. It is a fashion game at the end of the day. I would like for us to center the fashion. We don't need to center the map building. People don't play Dress to Impress to look at the map. I'm sorry, but they don't. Nobody gives a shit. People play Dress to Impress, stick with me, to dress and impress themselves and other players. I think that maybe we need to get back to that. I think I'm optimistic about the update for Cat's Eye tomorrow. I know that there's a lot of controversial opinions about that. I'm not even gonna get into that in this video, but I'm optimistic about tomorrow. I do hope that in tomorrow's update and all the coming updates, we start moving closer and closer back to that original Dress to Impress fashion-based model of the game, because I just am really not eager for the direction it feels like things are going right now. And I feel like I genuinely haven't been excited about a Dress to Impress update. I haven't been excited or enthused or inspired to play this game since the Black History Month update / Lunar New Year's update. And even the Black History Month update that I was so excited to be a part of and for it to come out and all this other stuff, I feel got shafted in a way because we got maybe a couple days solo dedicated to that update and then it was taken over by Lunar New Year's and then just kind of see you later Black History Month. You know, I haven't really felt inspired by the game since that happened. And I think that it's going to take something extraordinary for me to have that feeling again that I felt in February when I was playing this game. I was so proud to be playing this game. I was so proud to be a part of this community, and not that I'm still not, but I just don't feel that burning fire that I did 2 months ago. And that makes me sad, and I'm hoping that we can get back to that. As a whole, I would give this update a B-. It definitely had a lot of areas that it shined throughout, but as a whole, it left a lot to be desired. And I'm just hoping we can move back to a more fashion-centered game. If you liked this review, if you like this, I don't know, is this now a documentary since it's so damn long? If you like this video, make sure to follow, like, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this Tokyo update. Make sure you follow me on TikTok. I go live. I play Dress to Impress. I play Flee the Facility. I play all kind of stuff. I'll be posting more on YouTube coming in the future. So again, subscribe, like, follow, whatever the YouTubers say. Stay messy. Love ya. Bye.